Okay.
Yeah. Awkward silence. Yeah. And that's that, folks.
We are the kings of awkward silence.
But is that?
No, I think that is this, but this is also that.
All right, you ready?
All right, let's do it.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, I'm Robbie. This is Kyle. Kyle, how are you tonight? Good to see you.
Good. I'm just recovering from a food coma, but other than that, really good.
Yes, we had a very good meal today, courtesy once again of the One Time Grill in Wayland. So
great place.
Very good food there. So very excited. But yeah, so for tonight's episode, obviously, if you watch the show, you know that we both have hailed or currently hail from the great town of Wellesley. And obviously right now it is in the thick of the winter sports season for the high school level. And so what we thought it'd be fun to do is just kind of take a look at, how the teams are doing, how the Wellesley High teams are doing so far this year. This episode may be for some of our high school age viewers. If you're watching this and you're in high school, welcome. Excuse me. But yeah, so just gonna take a look at kind of like the records of the team and sort of talk through a little bit. We obviously Kyle is actually the only one of us two that played a winter sport in high school back in our high school days. You did indoor track.
I did. It was a lot of fun. It was I really liked it. I gotta slow down when I'm talking here. Yes, I really liked indoor track. I liked outdoor track a little better because I had a little more variety in the events. But indoor track was still had a lot of merits, especially when we got to go to the Reggie Lewis Center.
I was about to ask you. I forget if I'd asked you before, but I'm assuming they still held the meets even back in those days at the Reggie Lewis Center.
Oh, yeah, that was a big staple. Let me tell you, going to the Reggie Lewis Center, that was great. We had the Dunkin' Donuts there during, when we took breaks during events, and it was a big. I feel like the winter was a big time for shot put, especially because they really didn't do indoor discus. So they really focused, at least for the throwing aspect, on shot put. And I actually had a lot of fun doing that. I actually tried my hand at 200. Spoiler alert, didn't win any races, but it's okay. It was still fun, so.
Cool. Well, so we'll get to indoor track, how they're doing in just a minute here.
Cool.
But we're going to start off with the Raider boys basketball team, who currently is 3-4 on the season. Started out 2-0, but has kind of fallen on a bit of some tough times recently, and it currently sits just one game below 500, but still a long way to go for that season. So, you never know. So, Kyle, reaction to boys basketball, 3-4 so far in the year.
I'm sure they'll pick it up as the season goes on. It's still not a bad record though, so it's don't think it is. So, I'm sorry, I haven't watched a lot of. Basketball league.
That's right. I'm just kind of putting you on the spot here. Okay. So just do your best. Just give your most general insights. So.
Okay, I'll do my best.
And then we have the Raider girls basketball team, which is really, for the last decade or so, has really had a lot of success. Won a state title back when we were in high school, obviously.
Yeah, that's pretty good run there, yeah.
Made the tournament every year. Unfortunately, this year, a bit of a struggle. They're 2-9 so far on the season, so they gotta sort of turn up real quickly if they want to extend that tournament streak. Still possible, but
they still got time.
I think just from having watched them this year, a very young team, so kind of taking some time to sort of build that chemistry, but they still continue to play hard every game, and so I think that's all you can really ask for at the high school level. Just keep playing hard, and good things will start to happen for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But to go to two teams that are actually doing really well so far this year, The boys hockey team is 7-3-1 currently, on the cusp of earning another playoff berth. They're looking really solid. Beat Needham twice this year.
Oh, really? Needham's a pretty solid team, I feel like. I feel like they've always been pretty consistently good at hockey there.
Yeah, and also the girls hockey team beat Needham twice this year. The two-time defending state champion Wellesley High girls hockey team, who is looking for their third straight state title. And they currently sit at 10-1 on the season. They've won 9 in a row, including a big win against the top-ranked team in the state, Austin Prep, last night, 3-1. A game that I was at. Kyle, just quickly again, not to put you on the spot here, but do you, Kyle, my co-host, think that the girls hockey team, based on what you just heard, will win a third straight state title in 2020?
They're straight. Yeah, I think they have a chance to. Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
I agree. 100%. Now, to move on to a couple teams I know Kyle will be very interested in, the boys and girls indoor track teams.
Yes.
Who both currently sit with identical records at the moment. They both currently sit 3-1.
Oh, wow.
Their lone loss came to Newton North, but they're
a pretty solid track team.
Yeah, I know they played Natick today, but they haven't posted the result yet, so I don't know if they're either 3-2 or 4-1 at the moment, but we'll have to wait to get that result. But yeah, just being a former indoor tracker, just sort of reaction to that record so far.
No, it's pretty good. Seems like you guys got a really good start to the season off, so that's more power to you guys.
Now the wrestling team, who has kind of struggled a bit in past years. Last year they actually did have one individual state champion, which was really good.
Oh, very nice, very nice. They're more of like an individual. Like, do they do more team scoring, or they?
They do team scoring for each match, but then there's like individual competitions, like in the tournament as well. So it's sort of a mix of both.
It's kind of like track does that too a bit.
Kind of like swimming, track, like some of the golf, some of those sports, sort of an individual and a team component as well.
Gotcha. Okay.
But wrestling so far 2-6 on the year, so again a bit of a struggle record-wise, but have been a lot closer in their matches than maybe they've been in past years. So maybe they're still hopefully is hope for the wrestling team. Next up, we've got gymnastics, who is current. What?
No, never mind. Sorry,
Kyle. Ignore him. The gymnastics team currently sits at 3-2 record, so just over 500.
Nice.
So
it's pretty good.
Having a pretty good start to the year. So you go, girls. And then the last team to round it out was boys swimming, who is also 2-6 on the year, but has had some very tight meets so far. So. Still a bit of season left to go. And again, boys, for swimming, it's also kind of like an individual, sort of there's team, but there's also the individual side. So it's kind of like
trying to be your scorer, like you're running.
So, so Kyle, obviously those are the winter sports teams so far in this 2019-20 season. So I just wanted to get from what you've heard, sort of your overall reaction to how it sounds like the teams are doing so far.
I mean, I think they're overall doing pretty well. And even the teams with like the lower records, it's, don't let that get you down. I mean, it makes you feel better when I think my last 2 years of football, we had kind of we were a little on the lower end of the record there. But, you just got to keep playing and honestly just have fun, guys. It's high school. Just... Yeah.
Play hard, have fun.
Exactly, yeah. Like, I mean...
Win. No, I'm kidding.
Right.
Winners.
Win, I mean, play to win, but also, because sometimes if you think about it, like, after you graduate high school, not everyone's going to get the opportunity to participate in college sports. Maybe point. Because the sport won't be there, or you just... I don't know, maybe you find other things to do in college. So, honestly, live your best moments now in sports and... Live
your best life.
Right?
YOLO.
YOLO.
I'm jumping a lot of references right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, congratulations to the teams on a good start to the season and best of luck in in your future contests as you sort of keep going through this season. So we enter late January. It's amazing. It's already late January.
Yeah, I know, right?
Winter is speeding by, which is not a bad thing. I was about to say this is not a bad thing. So, now I'm going to throw it over to my pal Kyle here for to see what he has for us this week for a review.
Yes.
Kyle's Reviews.
It's called the Sue's Reviews.
The Sue's Reviews, thank you. I was like, I knew you had named it something, and I just completely forgot, so I'm sorry.
No, don't worry, that's okay.
I just failed at that setup.
Yeah, Robbie, horribly failed. Oh my god. Oh, yeah. That's it. I'm walking off the show.
Okay. If you actually did that, I'm just like saying, okay, whatever. I'll probably be like, whatever. Okay, bye everybody. All right. So what have you got for us this week?
So today I wanted to discuss because I haven't really so I'm sure a lot of people have seen Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker by now because it's been out for a while. It's been getting all kinds of reviews. He doesn't get it. That's why he doesn't get it. But it's been getting all these reviews. There are people that love it. They think it's the best movie ever. And there's other people that hate it. They're like, oh no, it tarnishes the name of Star Wars. So a lot of it's interesting how it's kind of goes back and forth. So I wanted to bring about a really great piece of Star Wars history. And this was a little game I've been playing called Jedi Outcast, which is amazing. It's part of the Jedi Knight series. It started off actually with
I'm sorry. We're talking about Outcast. Oh, Jedi. Outcast. I'm sorry. My mistake.
Wrong Outcast. That's okay.
Yeah, sorry. Big boy's not walking through that door.
Damn. Yeah, he was actually. We were originally gonna have him review the game with me for the show, but fortunately we couldn't pull it off. But anyways, pretty much, yeah. It's a Star Wars game. The whole series, it's like a series of first-person shooting type of games. But then later on in the series, they added this Jedi Knight element. So Jedi Outcast kind of is like the best of like both worlds, where it starts off as a first-person shooter. Your character is named Kyle Katarn. I'm not even joking. That's the name of the guy's name in the game. Yes. So I have a fellow Kyle Jedi to look up to, so that's really cool. So it's about him who kind of gives up the life of being a Jedi after the last game, and he decides to use only blasters and lasers and stuff like that. So the game starts off as a first-person shooter. It's a lot of fun. The levels are actually pretty big. They're kind of linear, but they're kind of big in a sense that there's sometimes you can actually find some secrets. There's some little light puzzle solving here and there to kind of like get some extra items. It's really cool. It's you go in a lot of these like Star Wars like terrains and bases and stuff like that, and you fight some stormtroopers. And later on in the game, you get your lightsaber, and that really throws in some fun. Yeah, exactly. Like it throws in really some cool combat mechanics there. So it eventually, and you can switch back and forth actually between first person, which is like it's from the view of the character, to third person, which actually you can see the character on the screen. In case you guys don't know the difference between those, it's a lot of fun. You can do some jumps and flips and all that, and it's a really great game. Lots of fun aliens to encounter. And yeah, like I said, you can also find some different pathways in the level some secrets that you can unlock. Like I think I mentioned that earlier. So yeah, if you really want a great Star Wars experience, I would highly recommend Jedi Outcast, and also its sequel, maybe which I'll talk about more in depth another time, Jedi Academy, which is that one's a much more Jedi focused game. So yeah, honestly, it's a great game, Jedi Outcast. Play it.
Nice. Thank you, Kyle, for that, as always. Another great review.
Thank you.
So, now it's time for Robbie's final thought. What is my final thought? Oh, yeah. It's a very exciting time coming up in the sports landscape over the next, over the next few weeks, both on the national level and on the local level. On the national level, obviously, you've got the Super Bowl coming up a week from this coming Sunday. Stay tuned. Kyle and I will have our Super Bowl preview / recap episodes coming up here in the next couple weeks.
And we will, like we did years before, go in depth with, and we'll just point the fingers the whole time too. The finger actually takes up like half the camera like that when we do it. So we will go in depth, not just with the game itself, but also with the halftime and the commercials.
Correct.
Too, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Always an exciting part of every Super Bowl.
Yeah, you got to look at the whole
especially
experience.
if your team's not playing. I feel like if your team's not playing, especially you're kind of like, you're watching the game, but you're also kind of like, oh, what do the commercials look like this year? What's the halftime show look like this year? By the way, halftime show this year, J-Lo and Shakira.
Interesting. Woo.
So a lot of fire on that stage.
Oh yeah.
In more ways than one. But yeah, so very excited about that. And also, locally, there is a big. If you've watched our episodes over the past couple of years, especially, you'll know that there's a big college hockey tournament coming up the first 2 Mondays in February, and that is the Bean Pot. That's right. The last 2 years, Kyle and I have had the opportunity to go to the Bean Pot Championship game, where Northeastern has won both. First year they beat BU, which was awesome. Last year they beat BC, which sucked. But this year we're actually going to be going to one of these semifinal games, BC and BU, which will be a week from this coming Monday night over at TD Garden. So we're very excited about that. A Bean Pot, always a cool time, always a cool tournament. Great turnouts always. So yeah, can't wait.
That'll be fun, and we'll do a special episode on that too. So.
Yeah. We'll sort of do it. We'll sort of do it all. So we got a lot of fun content coming up, but also, like I said, a lot of fun sporting events coming up. Obviously, you look a little bit further down the road. You got March Madness, which will be happening. The Celtics and the Bruins and all of sort of professional basketball and hockey. Really speeding up, heading towards the home stretch over the next couple of months. So. Great time to be a sports fan, no question. So, that is going to wrap it up for this, for this week's edition
Literally.
of On My Couch Talking Sports. Thanks as always, everybody, for joining us, especially if you are a Wellesley High School student or a Wellesley High School player. Thanks for tuning in. This is your episode. Anyway, he's Kyle. I'm Robbie. Signing off here from the couch, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.